Cape Coral home prices have dropped over 11%. I'm sure you've seen the headlines, and while there's some truth to them, there's a lot more to the story. Is the market actually crashing? How close are we to pre-COVID prices? And most importantly, should you be buying now or holding off? Inventory keeps climbing, and with builders adding over 150 new homes every month, the big question is, will we ever see a seller's market again? Or are we heading toward an even bigger shift that could change everything for buyers and sellers in Cape Coral? What happens next could impact you more than you think. Welcome to the March 2025 Cape Coral Market Update. I'm Barry Cessna, your Cape Coral real estate agent, and I'm here to help you cut through the noise and stay ahead in this evolving market. Let's break down the key trends and opportunities shaping Cape Coral real estate in 2025. Now, if you're thinking about buying, selling, relocating, or investing, you're not alone. Many others have already taken advantage of my real estate consultation and are now living their Cape Coral dream. Don't wait on the sidelines. Let's create a plan tailored to your goals. Schedule your video consultation today. Just click that link in the description, call or text. Your dream home in paradise could be closer than you think. All right, let's dive right in.
Hey guys, welcome in. It's Barry Cessna, your Cape Coral real estate agent. Today we've got a lot of great information to uncover. This is the Cape Coral market update for March 2025. Now this is the single family homes market update. We've got a lot of great information to unpack. The big story right now is median price and how much it's dropped over the last year. So we're going to dive into that. Is it really as bad as they're talking about or showing you? We're going to dig deeper into the MLS numbers. You know, I like to bring you the exact numbers from the MLS, which gives you an exact picture of what's going on here in the Cape Coral real estate market. I'm also going to show you what the median price points have looked like for the last 5 years. So we're going to go the whole way back to 2022 to April 2022 when prices were at the absolute highest and compare that to where prices are at now, and to show you how the trends have been happening over the last few years. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, first thing we're going to look at is market indicators. In order to know exactly what the market's doing, you have to understand what tells us what's happening in the market. First, we look at inventory. How much inventory is currently available here in the city of Cape Coral? Median price point. How much are homes actually selling for? 50% of the homes sold above this amount. 50% of the homes sold below this amount here in Cape Coral. Days on the market. How many days are homes sitting on the market before going under contract? And then closed sales. How many homes are actually selling here in the city of Cape Coral? This shows us the demand. First up is active inventory. Now, as you knew, last month, we saw inventory jump quite a bit throughout the month of January. We were sitting just right around 3,500. Now this month, we did increase. We're sitting at 30,515 homes. So we did increase, just not near as much. And we'll get into that in just a minute, how many new homes came to the market in the month of February. But we did have a lot of buyers coming to the market as well. So we'll cover that. November 2024, we had 2,991 homes available. That was 3 months ago, 90 days ago. And then February 2024, 1 year ago, we had 2,806 homes available. As you can see, last year, we did see inventory start to spike right around the season. And then as we got into season, the buyers showed up and started buying those homes. We started dropping a little bit. And then around November, we saw inventory start to jump up once again. And that was anticipation of season happening and buyers coming into the market. And that's where we're at right now. So we haven't changed a whole lot since last month. I believe that we're going to be peaking right around the 3,500. I don't believe we're going to get to 3,600 this year before we start going back the other direction. Probably by the time we get into the middle of summer or towards the end of summer, I would expect that inventory to be well below 3,000. But we'll monitor that and see where we're going to head. Median price point. So February 2025 median price point was $400,000 for a home here in the city of Cape Coral. 50% of the homes sold above that amount, 50% of the homes sold below that amount. November 2024, we had a median price of $390,000. And then February 2024, 1 year ago, median price point of $415,000. Now, as you can see, we have been coming down just a bit over the last year. Dropping, and then we jump up a little bit and drop. But we've been really hanging out just below the $400,000 in median price here in the city of Cape Coral for the last year. Now, let's jump ahead because I want to show you exactly what the headlines showed last month. Redfin came out with an article that said Cape Coral housing market. The median home price in Cape Coral was $366,000 last month. Now this was for the month of January, and this was for all homes. So this is condos, townhomes, single families, everything. And they say down 10.7% year over year. which that would indicate the headline that we are crashing, that things are falling apart here in the city of Cape Coral. However, I believe this is a cherry-picked statistic, and they're just using it to create clicks and a buzz to get themselves more notice. Let's dive into what's actually happening. So in January, median price point in 2024 for a single family home was $420,000, which actually was quite a bit higher than where it had been for the month of for the year of 2023. As you can see down here, we were at 400, 397, 395, 389, and then all of a sudden we jumped to 420 for January 2024 for a median price point. And then January 2025, we actually dropped quite a bit lower than where we've been for the last few months, ending out 2024. We dropped to $373,450 for a median price point for January 2025. So that actually did put out numbers of an 11%, just over 11% decrease in median price point year over year here in the city of Cape Coral from January 2024 to January 2025. However, if you look at where we're at now, because we jumped right back up to where we've been at for the last several months to 400,000 for the month of February, 414 in February 2024, 400 in 2025, that was a 3.5% decrease. So are we seeing a decrease year over year? I believe yes, it's safe to say that. Is it an 11% decrease like the market's crashing, we're falling apart? Absolutely not. However, the numbers don't lie. So let's take a look year over year. March last year, 2.5%. This is the numbers where we've been for the last year. 1.19% year over year for April. Almost 6% for May, June, and July in the 5%, and then August 2.5%. September was 5.25%, 5.25%, and then for October just 0.5%. 1.25% again for November, and then December was 2.5%. So, and these are year over year. So looking at the numbers to pick a statistic and say Cape Coral's crashing, we're at 11% or we're at 10.7% decrease, that's just not the case. When you look at the big picture, it's not something to be alarmed about. Numbers were a little skewed for those months, January 2024 and January 2025. However, the big picture, we're back at just a 3.5% year over year decrease. Now, one of the things that I want to point out to you as well is if we go over here to the peak was in April of 2022. We're at $465,000 median price point for a home here in the city of Cape Coral, $465,000. And then if you look throughout 2022, when interest rates really started to increase in the summertime, prices really started to drop. People got scared. They stopped buying. The sellers were getting scared. They wanted to make sure that they sold properties as quick as possible. And that's when prices started dropping. And then in September, we had a hurricane go through, Hurricane Ian, and that hurt us even more. And then by the time we got to December, we had a median price point of $399,995. So from April 2022 to December 2022, we had a decrease of almost 14% to $399,995. And then over the next 2.5 years, 2 years, we've been playing right around the $400,000 mark. It goes up a little bit, it goes down a little bit, it goes up a little bit, it goes down a little bit. So where are we at for 2025, February? 400,000. So not a lot is changing if you look at the picture. So if you're on the sidelines sitting there saying, I'm going to wait, I'm going to wait, I'm going to wait, and you've been waiting the last 2.5 years while you're up there in the north suffering through these miserable winters, you're really missing out on this beautiful sunshine over a few bucks. So you need to get on down here, take advantage of the opportunities right now. With the inventory so high, we do have a lot of opportunities and sellers are willing to negotiate. So if you are thinking about buying, you may really want to pay attention over the next few months because you may run into some great opportunities. We're finding some awesome opportunities for our buyers here in Cape Coral. We are able to negotiate with the sellers as well. And as far as sellers go, the sellers that we're listing their homes and helping them sell, if they're priced right and they have some extra features that are really appealing, they're selling very quickly here in the city of Cape Coral. But we have a great marketing strategy that we can go into with you on how to get your home sold quickly. So feel free to reach out to us anytime. All the links are in the details right below. Days on the market. So days on the, one last thing I wanted to show you real quick. So 400,000. Even if we go with $373,000, when was the last time we saw a price of $373,000 in the city of Cape Coral? We'd have to go back to October of 2021. 369,000. That's the last time it was lower than that. And then we jumped to 400. And then if we go back there, then we're looking at February 2022. And then we jumped the whole way up to 465. Just incredible. But we just have not seen a lot of dropping off since the end of 2022. It's been up and down, and we are just under 400,000 now. We've been there for the last several months, and I expect to be there for the next few months for sure. Days on the market. So days on the market, we did see an increase for the month of February to 62 days on the market. A lot of that has to do with a lot of the homes that go on the market went on the market November, December, January, and the ones that aren't ready to sell, maybe they're priced too high, maybe they're missing a few things, they need some updates. They're sitting on the market a lot longer right now, and that means that those days on the market, median days on the market, is actually stretching out. November 2024, it was 53. February 2024, 1 year ago, it was 58, so not too far off. We've been sitting around the same place for the last year, going anywhere from 45 to 65 days on the market. Closed sales. So February 2025, we had 307 closed sales in the city of Cape Coral. November 2024, 310 closed sales. And then February 2024, 387 closed sales. Now, this is where I think the biggest red flag is at, or the biggest concern to pay attention to, is the amount of closed sales in February 2025 to February 2024. That's 80 less homes being sold in the city of Cape Coral. That means buyers are being extremely hesitant right now. They're sitting on the sidelines, they're waiting, they're uncertain with what the future holds, and they're sitting on the sidelines waiting. So this is what we're going to pay attention to. Usually this time of the year is our season, so we see a lot of buyers come in. That's where we were at 387 last year. And as you can see here, what's going to happen, March, April, May is when we see the most amount of buyers. These are homes that go under contract in February, and then they're going to close in March. And then throughout the season, we're going to see a lot of homes being sold. Now, we are 80 less. So last year, we were well over 550 in the month of March, closed homes in the city of Cape Coral. Are we going to be well over 550 in the month of March this year? Well, at the end of the month, we're going to find out, but I would imagine we're going to be over 500. Are we going to hit the 550 mark? I don't know, but we'll find out next month as buyers get more and more comfortable with what's happening here in the city of Cape Coral and understanding the market just a little bit better. Current trends. So this is what's happening the first week of February, the last week of January into February, and then the last week of February into March. I like to look at these numbers. This is a weekly number. So new listings in the end of, or the first part of February, we had 253 new listings. First part of March, we had 209 new listings. So not as many listings coming to the market, which means inventory will start to decrease. Sold, 81 sold for the first week of February, sold 139. So as you can see, we're picking up some steam. We're seeing more sold homes now as we're moving forward. The other thing I like to look at is pending. So the first week of February, we had 143 pending. And the first week of March, 167 pending. That means homes that went under contract, that the buyers put in an offer and the sellers accepted that offer and they went under contract. Price decrease, 475. Since there is so much competition, a lot of the sellers are getting a little scared and they want to make sure that they can present their home in the best light. So they have decreased the price a little bit. Price decreased 592 for the first week of March. Now, I don't want you to get too excited over price decrease. Now, when you see price decrease, typically that means that they were priced a little bit higher. That doesn't mean that that's going to change the median price point, the median sold price point very much. It's still going to be right around where it's been. However, what that does is it makes their home more competitive and attracts buyers to the home. Now, we're going to get into the percentage of how much how much buyers are actually saving off the list price. And I'm going to talk about that here in just a few minutes so you can see how those changes are happening as well. Other key numbers to be aware of. So these numbers are important. Sold price per square foot, $251 a square foot. That actually came up a little bit since it's actually the highest it's been in the last few months. So 251 a square foot is coming up, price per square foot. That's the sold price per square foot. And then next up, we have list price received. And this is what I want to talk a little bit about. So 97.5% list price received. This is how much sellers are willing to give you a discount on the purchase price. Whatever it's listed for, they're willing to give you a 97.5% That's what you're paying percentage wise. And why I bring this up is just a few months ago, that was actually 98.5%. So we are seeing that drop a little bit, meaning that sellers are willing to negotiate more with the buyers. And actually with a lot of my buyers, we're seeing that number come down even further than that. We're able to negotiate and make some pretty good deals happen. So definitely getting discounts right now. And that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. If you're concerned about the market dropping, or you think maybe a year from now prices are going to be cheaper, right now, because we do have so much inventory and the buyers are sitting on the sidelines being a little more hesitant this season, we are able to negotiate some pretty good opportunities for you. So you may save 5%, 6%, 7% off the list price. And what that does is that gets you a huge discount that even if you wait for a year, you may still not get a discount that good. New listings, we had 841 new listings come to the market in the month of February. By comparison, we had 1,100 come to the market in January of 2025, and this month 841 for February. Months of inventory, we have 11.8 months of inventory here in the city of Cape Coral. That means if not another new home came to the market, it would take us 11.8 months to sell all of our homes here in the city of Cape Coral. One of the reasons that we're seeing inventory maintain itself or growing so much is we're seeing 150 new homes hit the market every month here in the city of Cape Coral. Over 150 new homes are hitting the market. That's brand new homes. And that's homes that are actually on the MLS. We're actually seeing quite a bit more through some of our bigger builders that are hitting the market, and maybe they're not getting on the MLS because they're sold before they even get finished. But we're seeing a lot of new inventory here in the city of Cape Coral. And if it wasn't for that new inventory coming to the market, I believe prices would be quite a bit higher. So builders are actually keeping prices down by creating this new inventory, 150 new homes every single month coming to the market. And that means that they're competing with the resale properties. But if that new inventory wasn't there, then we would see resale properties actually increasing in prices quite a bit more. And so we probably wouldn't be hanging out at that $400,000 median price point range. Would actually be much higher than that. So the new construction is what's actually keeping prices down, and people are buying new construction properties right now, which is hurting the resale market a bit just because of the incentives that they're getting towards closing costs, rate buy downs, things of that nature as well, and warranties. But that doesn't mean that you cannot sell resale homes, because there's plenty of resale homes selling here in the city of Cape Coral, and they're selling for great prices. You just have to have the right marketing strategy in place in order to sell those homes. So other key numbers to be aware of. Inflation peaked at 9.1% back in June 2022. We're now sitting at 3%. We did jump a little bit over last month. Last month we were at 2.9%. This month we're at 3%. So we are monitoring that. We did see it come up just a bit. Interest rates peaked in November 2023 at 8.01%. We're now sitting at 6.25%. Just in the last week, we did drop a quarter. We were sitting at about 7% most of the month of February, 6.99, right around there. We did see it come down. Now we're sitting at 6.75. Our target, like we've always talked about, is 6.5%. Once it goes below 6.5% for any length of time, we're going to see a lot more buyers start to enter the market. If it goes below 6%, then I believe that buyers are going to start really jumping into the market. However, with that being said, it's not expected for rates to come below 6.5% over the next several months. But we will monitor that for you as well. Unemployment is at 4% and staying steady. Unemployment has been extremely low over the last several years, and it remains that way. It's not bumping up. It's staying very steady right around the 4%. It goes to 4.1, 4.2, 3.9, and it jumps up and down and all around, but it's right around that, which is extremely low for where we've been in comparison to the last several years. 4% is very strong. Supply. Currently in the city of Cape Coral, we have a supply of 3,515 single-family homes available for purchase here in the city of Cape Coral. That's the inventory on the MLS. Year-over-year increase is 25.3%. So we did see quite an increase over last year's inventory. However, it's not much of a concern. Last year, we were looking at like 40% increases, 46% increase year-over-year, 25%. That's a lot of numbers. That's a lot of homes coming to the market from what we had last year. What that means for buyers is more opportunity, more to pick from. They're getting some great options. And as far as sellers go, that means you have a lot more competition. But during this time of the year, which is our season, we do typically see inventory increase quite a bit. This is going to start falling over the next few months. And by the time we get into summer, like I said, we'll probably be back below 3,000 in inventory. For a healthy market here in the city of Cape Coral, based on our population and our interest here, I would say we need to be right around 26 to 2,800 homes available to keep it a very strong, healthy market. If we get down to 2,500, that would probably be healthy as well. Demand population currently is estimated at 234,000 residents here in the city of Cape Coral, and we're continuing to grow every day. In the next 6 years, we're expected to be at 250,000 people living here in the city of Cape Coral, and by 2050, 320,000. We're often ranked as one of the fastest growing cities in not just the state of Florida, but also the whole United States. And that's based on our value that we add here. You can still get a value priced home here, a home on a Gulf access canal for, low end, you can get one for 600,000, something real nice that you want to live in, anywhere from 800 to $1 million. But over in Miami, Fort Lauderdale, out in Newport Beach, you would pay millions of dollars for that same exact property. So is now the time to buy? Let's chat about this a little bit for the buyers. We get a lot of buyers coming down from out of the state, coming down from the north, escaping the frigid cold, looking for something better, more exciting during the winter months. And Cape Coral has many options. So right now we have many options. We're at the highest inventory we've had in maybe forever. Over 3,500 homes currently available on the market here in the city of Cape Coral. However, the buyers are down. We're not seeing the buyer interest at this moment that we saw last year in the last few years. So buyers are sitting on the sidelines. Like I said, we had just over 300 homes sold this year in the month of February, and last year we had 387. So we sold 80 more homes last year, which is a big difference. So where are the buyers? Are they coming in? There's a lot of uncertainty right now in the news, and so people are paying attention to that, and they're kind of not sure what steps they're taking. However, if you are a buyer and you're ready to escape the frigid cold, or you're here in the Cape Coral area, go ahead and reach out to me. I'll be happy to help you find the perfect property with the great opportunities. It is a buyer's market. We're currently sitting at 11 months of inventory. Anything over 6 months is considered a buyer's market. So we're definitely in a buyer's market right now, meaning buyers have the upper hand and are able to work with the sellers to get the best opportunities. Interest rates lower. Now we did see interest rates drop just a bit this last week to 6.25% or 6.75%. Are we going to see them continue to drop? We may see them drop a bit more, but they're not expected to drop a whole lot this year. So keep an eye on that. There are a lot of opportunities through some of the builders for incentives to do rate buy downs where they're actually getting you a lower interest rate. Not too long ago, we had a new build where the client was able to get a 4.875% interest rate, and that was a 30-year fix. That's not going to go down. That's not going to go back up after a year or two. That was locked in for 30 years. A really good opportunity there. And then the buyer broker agreement. Right now, it seems like buyers are a little confused because they feel like they have to pay their agent the commission, which you do have to sign a contract or a showing agreement, something along those lines that say that you are willing to do that. However, with my buyers, there's always a clause in there that says that the sellers are going to pay that based on the offer price. So we're going to work with you and the seller on the offer when we work with our buyers to make sure that the seller is going to cover that. I would say about 98% of the sellers right now are definitely covering the buyer's commission, so the buyers aren't stuck with that. I know buyers, when you're buying a house, you've got so many expenses from the setting up the mortgage and the points and expenses there, taxes, insurance, all kinds of craziness. So there's a lot of that goes into that, and buyers just don't have the extra money or the funds to pay the buyer's agent's commission, and that's where sellers are still picking the bill up on that one. And they've been doing that for years and years and years. And we did just change basically the paperwork, but sellers are still willing to help out with the buyer's commission, the buyer's agent's commission. Is now the time to sell? All right, sellers, let's chat about this. So as we've just talked about, it looks like a pretty bad time to sell if you're a seller with so much competition on the market right now and not as many people here buying. We do have a lack of buyers right now. It is season though, so we do have a higher than normal level of buyers here. We definitely have buyers here. We sold over 300 houses last month. This month we're going to sell over 500 houses. I'm pretty confident about that. So the buyers are certainly here. However, since there is so much competition, you definitely have to stand out. And there's different ways that you can stand out. One is obviously a newer home is going to stand out more than an older home. Upgrades in the home, if you've taken care of it and you've done some great upgrades in the last few years, that's going to help you out. Location, that's going to help you out as well. What are the different features that your home has over the other homes? And then of course the last is price. If it's priced well, it's priced to compete, you're going to sell your house fairly quickly. So second home market, we are definitely a second home market here in the city of Cape Coral. I work with a lot of second home owners, people that come down from the north, they're buying second homes here. And then they have them here during the winter time. They come down and enjoy them because it's cold up north. And as a seller, you want it to be real cold up north because that drives them down here to buy homes from you. And then we do have the second home, the out-of-town sellers program and buyers program, where we are able to help sellers and buyers that are outside the area do business here in Cape Coral. Whether it's you're selling your home or buying, we're able to provide all the tools to help you get that done. Even if you're up there in Minnesota or Ohio or out in Colorado, we have the system in place to help you get that done. And then the next thing I want to talk about is sellers attracting buyers. Sellers, it's so important to attract the buyer, and there's so many different ways that you can do that. And then we just talked about that, anything from price, location, what kind of upgrades do you have on your home. You have to really make it competitive and appealing. You have to have a great marketing strategy. We put together a great marketing strategy through social media. We do some great photos depending on the property. We do a lot of great drone shots, things like that really bring home the beauty of your home when we're selling it for you. And then, of course, we're going to market the heck out of it and make sure that it gets in front of as many people as possible. So it may not be the best time to sell a house, but if you do need to sell your house, you do want to sell your house, they're definitely selling. We just have to make sure that we put that in the right light in order to get the job done for you. All right, that concludes this market update for March 2025. I've got the link below. You're welcome to schedule a free consultation with me through Zoom. I'd love to chat with you. We go over all your different aspects. If you're looking to buy here in the city of Cape Coral, we're going to put together a plan and find out exactly what you're looking for. If you're looking to sell here in the city of Cape Coral, we can go over my marketing plan and how we're going to get your home sold as quickly as possible. And then also there's some great information below. Go ahead and check it out. Click the links, follow us along, and go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button so you can get lots of great information when we put out new content every single week. Hope you have a great day. Look forward to chatting with you. Feel free to reach out, making realty dreams a reality here in the city of Cape Coral.